Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Cold Hard Truth NFL podcast. I'm your host, Anish Gupta,
And I'm Srikar,
and we are back. Shriek, how was your NFL weekend?
Mixed.
Yeah,
Very mixed.
very mixed, huh? Well, I had a horrible Sunday, like a really horrible Sunday. Really, really horrible Sunday.
Yeah, very
Browns
horrible.
lost in the worst way possible. Wentz lost because his O-line couldn't help him to save his life in the first half.
Right.
Baker loses, and just all around a rough week. But this Thursday made up for it, and I get to go with the next 10 days being happy knowing that the Browns are leading the division for the first time in 8 years. So literally at no point have the Browns led the division since week 10, 2014. So good little win. We'll kind of bounce into that Browns-Steelers recap. But before we get into that, this video, like all our other videos, are brought to you by Manscaped. Again, Cold Hard Truth is now brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped recently launched their Lawnmower 4.0 fourth-generation trimmer. We were some of the first people to try the new 4.0, blown away by the experience. The trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. With the advanced technology in the ceramic blade, you can feel safe and confident shaving those pig skins. Don't have to worry about those deflations. And wireless charging, new wireless charging system uses electromagnetic induction, which can help battery length last longer. Along with the 4.0, Manscaped has other amazing products like their Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer, crop preserver ball deodorant, and some super comfy clothing like a t-shirt and some good old-fashioned boxers. Manscaped is already the official sponsor of the San Francisco 49ers, and we are super excited to partner with them and bring their products to you guys. Join over 2 million men worldwide with Manscaped with this exclusive offer. Get 20% off and free shipping with code CHT20. Srikar, what's the code?
CHT20. There you go.
Manscaped.com, baby. 20% off, free shipping at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped, and go get yourself that Lawnmower 4.0 now. Srikar, get into our Browns-Steelers recap.
I was going to ask you to get into it since you're the Browns fan.
I mean, I want to hear what you say first, because then I'll do a deeper dive.
Listen, I don't really have much to say. If you were following on my Twitter, I've been live tweeting, every game that I can watch. I really didn't have much to say for Browns Steelers. I started off the game saying this game was going to be crap. I ended the game thinking the exact same thing. It was crap. And obviously we all saw the Pickens catch. That was amazing. Definitely the highlight of that game, possibly of the season. A lot of people have been comparing it to OBJ's catch. In my opinion, I'm still taking Odell. But overall, Brissett looked pretty good. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Obviously, that rushing attack was going well for Cleveland. That's their bread and butter right there. So, yeah, and also Trubisky and Matt Canada. Let's talk about that a little bit. Just a complete lack of throws between the numbers. Just nothing at all. They don't want to target the middle of the field. Obviously, you can put that on Canada. You can put that a little bit on Trubisky. You can put it on both. But that just kind of shocked me. Deontay Johnson was running outs the whole entire night, which was okay. Wow, there's the Steelers offense for you. And yeah, it's just things didn't really come together for them. And in a divisional matchup that, could be big in the AFC North, Browns took advantage. Brissett looked cool. The offense looked good. The defense did their thing. And yeah, I'll let Goop get into more of this as a Browns fan.
Yeah, let's quickly break this down. First, Jacoby is basically playing the role that Baker did in 2020. You're seeing what a healthy quarterback can do in Stefanski's offense, and I think this just goes to show how great of a play caller Stefanski is. I mean, really, the way we can run the ball, I think it's second to none. I love it. And there'll be times where I get mad, why run empty on consecutive plays? There are things I, as a Browns fan, are very nitpicky on. I will really, get on my team for these type of things. You guys do not want to see me when I watch a game. I am, I'm the most obnoxious fan. I get loud over everything. I get frustrated even when things go right because I just want things to be, you can never be perfect in the NFL. So I think the Browns played a really good, game on both sides of the ball. Not really on the defense. I think ran a lot of cover 3, and that's why they were able to get the sideline routes, which is why they didn't really throw over the middle. So I think people are blaming Matt Canada and Trubisky, especially Trubisky, a little bit too much. I thought on the throws he threw downfield, he was pretty good on. like, to be honest, I just think the Browns couldn't, like, this is a problem for the Browns. They can't finish pressures. Like, this is getting to be a problem. Myles Garrett was literally nowhere to be found the entire night. Like, right? So, and he'll have these games, which is why, I critique Myles a lot because, he'll have his 2-3 sack games. It's just, it doesn't really, change the game, so to speak. And like, there will be these games where he's just not there. Like it was a little bit concerning to me considering I get it. The Steelers really had a game plan. Like, they would throw 2 or 3 guys at him, and sure, obviously that's going to make sense and work when you're throwing in third string defensive linemen at the Steelers. So I guess, you can point it to that, but I still expect you to kind of show out. And he did on a big third down when the Steelers were backed up. This was about 5 minutes ago in the fourth quarter. He had a really good pressure. But, I mean, these are all things that I'm saying as a Browns fan, right? And I think the Steelers too, right? I think you stick with Trubisky here. I think Pickett is the answer. I've been saying this. I think he's better than Trubisky. But, kind of ride it out. I mean, like, now is not the time to really panic. Steelers still looked okay. But, to get shut out basically in the entire second half, aside from a field goal where the Browns were basically playing prevent, right? Not really, that helpful. And I think, I've been saying this. I think Nick Chubb really is RB1 in football. I think people now are just starting to realize it. But,
he looks even better than last year.
Well, he's always been this good. The Browns just don't get enough national spotlight for people to realize this. He's always been this good, and he also splits. Like, this is the thing people need to realize why a split is so good in the NFL. Like, you're throwing Kareem Hunt out there with 100% fresh legs, right? Like, because, like, wear and tear is real, bro. Like, they're taking hits in between the tackles by big dudes. Like, and you're just throwing Kareem Hunt right after Nick Chubb comes back on the sideline. Kareem Hunt is a really good runner. Like, this is a real thing. And like, that's why in the fourth quarter, the Browns are so effective on offense. That's like, that is the bulk of it. And that is why a 1-2 punch is so damn dynamic for the Cleveland Browns. And I think since the Browns have 2 excellent guards, they pull better than anyone. So it's like a lot of these outside runs that are just so effective. But yeah, I think the Browns did what they were supposed to do. I said it anyway. I think this was a team that had a genuine chance to start off 4-0, and they're winning the games that they should. I mean, except the Jets one, right? Like,
yeah,
this should be a 3-0 team right now. And like, playing Atlanta 10 days from now, that could be 4-0 start. And, you're waiting for Deshaun Watson. You got a tough slate ahead. Like, to make the playoffs this year, there's still a genuine chance. So, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think this was kind of a tale of 2 teams, right? One's trending a little bit upward and one's trending a little bit downward.
Yeah, and on a side note, please bring Thursday Night Football back to cable. I hate Amazon.
You're an L. You are an absolute L.
I hate it. Okay,
Yeah,
here's my thing. Last night,
Don't do this.
my
I will
Prime Video was
unleash
giving me,
on you.
My Prime Video was giving me so much problems. Generally, like, okay, it's fine. They're locked into it. Last night, my Prime Video was giving me so much problems, and in my mind, I was thinking, "Oh man, wish I could just go on cable and just watch Thursday Night Football, just like the old times." But no, everything gets moved to an app. So
I will.
that's going to be a
first
problem
of all,
going into the future.
you can just go on Amazon.com and watch it there.
I'm watching on a TV. I'm watching on a Roku TV.
Okay, and hold on, and that. Okay, first of all, that, and then second, Prime Video increased their subs by 13 million. Like, this is
good for you. It doesn't make it any better.
No, hold on. This is going to be a platform that changes the way you watch the games with the incorporation of next gen stats in there, which I mean, okay, this is a little bit biased considering that I might work with them next year, but they're going to incorporate so much cool stuff into the way they break down the game. And I think
when you work with them, tell them to fix their buffering problems and give me a good viewing experience.
Use Chrome if you don't. Okay, first of all, streaming is the thing. So he's one of those old people that can't figure out technology. That's why STEM majors are where it's at.
No, but I can. It's when you give me a frequent buffering ad every single 5 seconds.
Hats off to you guys. I loved it. I thought it was great. I am a big fan. I think Amazon is, once again, common W by Amazon. I think they'll be great. And I'm excited for more games in the future. And let's shut up guys like this. So yes, please fix your buffering. Okay, big deal. It happened one time. Maybe it was probably Srikar's TV because he's in the middle of nowhere. But let's
touche. I am in the middle of nowhere.
Let's move on to quarterback got injured this past Sunday, and it really sucks because
don't do this.
No, it does because this. I have gone back and forth with so many Niner fans, so many people on our TikTok, so many people just everywhere about this dude, and like to have it frustrates me a little bit because it's like, obviously, first of all, prayers up to him. I mean, no one wants to see him go down like that. I mean, the way, I have my fair fun with this guy, but it's all, football related, nothing personal or nothing towards, him as a character. And like, it sucks to see him go down, but like now we're going to hear all the excuses. Oh, we haven't seen enough yet. Oh, we got to wait till 2023. Here's what I'm going to tell you. This, first of all, if you are blaming Kyle Shanahan for that, you are the most casual fan I know.
I agree.
You're supposed to run with him.
Yeah.
That is what makes the offense work. So
Exactly.
So what? You ran him 8 times in between the tackles. That is not a big deal to me. That is what makes Trey Lance good, because obviously he can't throw over the middle. He is not accurate in between the numbers. He has a true completion percentage of 47%. So how are you going to fix it with him? You're going to run the football with a guy who's 6'4", big, strong, a good athlete. Like, that's what you're going to do. No blame should ever go on Kyle Shanahan for this, and it's so ironic that I'm defending him because you guys know how I feel about him on the show. But yeah, no, absolutely. No blame goes to Kyle Shanahan there. Like, if you're freaking out about that, you are a delusional fan. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think Trey will be fine. Like, in terms of like what you're going to get next year from him is not going to be because of the injury. It's going to be because of how he is as a passer. So, I mean, his season's cut short. I frankly think it, short term, again, nothing to do with him as a person or a character. Wishing him nothing but the best. I think the Niners are better off. I think Jimmy G was way fundamentally better as a quarterback. I'll let you touch on it, but heartful, or heartbroken way to end it. But like, Niner fans should low-key, be looking more forward to the season.
Yeah, I agree with your point about Kyle Shanahan. He said in his presser that it's a normal play. I mean, the Bills do with Josh. I mean, it's what you're supposed to. It's fine. I'm not mad about that. So I don't blame Shanahan. It's just it's an injury. There's no one you can blame for an injury like this. It's just there's no blame being put there. 2-yard scramble, gets up, just goes straight down, and then he's put in an air cast, and at that point we can kind of infer that it would be season ending and require surgery. And then Jimmy comes in and he goes 13 of 21 for 154 yards with a touchdown, and Niners win the game. But everyone's still thinking about Trey, right? We've all been excited to see this guy. The whole summer has been just Trey Lance all on my TL, and it's just now it's all gone, right? And the Niners basically just they said what they need to. Oh, we believe in Jimmy. We know what he can do. I don't know if you saw that video, but after I think it was one of the touchdowns, everyone just swarmed Jimmy, and like they gave off like a nice. They like really believe in him.
Hey,
he gives off that sort of vibe, like that leadership vibe. So that's good, right? All I'll say is Jimmy gives us a higher. We are going to stay competitive, right? The Niners are still going to be a competitive team. We have a higher floor now. There's no longer that unknown with Trey Lance, which kind of goes both ways. There was that air of potential with him, but there was also, the downside of all of that. So with Jimmy get that higher floor, obviously you've been to 2 NFC championship games, like you have that experience with you. The ceiling is capped. That's all I'll say. The ceiling is capped. And I still go off the belief that I don't think he can win you a Super Bowl. It's just what it is. I just don't think he can. He can go pretty far. Just don't think he can win you a Super Bowl. Maybe
I think this team is back. Like,
I think this team is back.
I think teams now need to fear them. Like, this is a team that can now genuinely win the NFC. I gave them pretty much no chance with Trey Lance, but now.
So my record prediction before was, I think 10-7. I'll bump it up to 11-6.
I don't even think it matters about the game. Like, I thought they were gonna make the playoffs anyway. Now I'm more sure of it. Like, now I'm like 100% positive. I don't think there are 7 teams that will finish with a better record than SF. I'm very confident in that now. You're just not, like, Jimmy's not going to lose at Chicago in that game. Jimmy's not losing that game. Like this is like Jimmy Garappolo is a better passer than Trey Lance. He runs this offense or at least Shanahan's offense, he runs it at this point. What we've seen, he's ran it better. And I think obviously you're going to run different plays with him, but I think Jimmy G makes guys like Debo better. I think he makes guys like Ayuk better. I think he even makes the running game a little bit better, to be honest, because now you're a little bit more fearful of play action. Like I think the Niners now are really back with Jimmy Garoppolo, and I think like this is a team you need to start fearing.
I don't know if he wins that game. The last time we saw him in a rain game was the Colts game. Terrible.
I mean, well, yeah, you're
Horrible.
playing Carson Wentz, so like, I mean, not his fault.
I don't think Jimmy wins that game.
Not his fault. He had to play such a good quarterback. I mean, what? Hey, hold on. Speaking of,
so is that a diss to Justin Fields then?
Speaking of Carson Wentz, I'm just gonna throw this out there. It wasn't even a topic, but hold on. First in the league in passing touchdowns, second in the league in passing yards, sixth in passer rating. All I'm saying is he's looked really good. And
he's looked pretty good.
Very good.
Pretty good. Stats can be misleading sometimes, fellas.
All right, let's move on. I guess, well, anything else you want to say about the Niners? I think we're pretty much
we've covered it. I'm not in shambles necessarily, but I mean, there's stuff to look forward to now. I mean,
I'll say this about one thing.
That's all that matters.
I hear a lot when people slander Baker Mayfield. I hear a lot of this where it's like they keep comparing him with this like expectation of a number 1 overall pick, but in reality, they should be looking at him as an average guy. So with Trey Lance, the reason why people put so much big aspirations on him is because they gave 3 first-round picks on this guy total. The reality is he was not worth that. Like he was not worth
I don't think
pick. I will stand by that. I think 100% they should have taken Fields. I think there were other guys in that draft that were just better. So look, I'm going to stand by that. And we're going to have to wait till September of 2023, which is a really long time to really get an answer. But keep in mind, now you know what happens. You're going to need to decide on his 5th-year option that year.
Personally, I would have been fine just staying at 12, getting another position of need, waiting for maybe like a Davis Mills, and then getting him. Because Davis Mills would have worked in a Shanahan offense.
I don't know about it. I mean, like, okay.
Because the whole reason behind it, well, not the whole reason, but part of the reason was Jimmy's injuries. If you could get like a good backup like Davis Mills.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, okay. But question is, like, with, Trey Lance, I mean, yeah, the picks, right? Like, the stuff you gave up, right? Like, to move up 9 spots, like.
And I think another problem I had with drafting Trey is this was a roster that was ready to win now. And instead of going for a win now quarterback, you went for a guy that you want to develop for 2 years.
Fair enough. Also, well, okay, I'll throw this kind of thing at you. I mean, 5th-year option, like what? Like you're locked in. Like you see, like that, right? I mean, it's just all types of weird right now, and I mean, this could be a move that we could see damage a lot of long-term relationships in SF. Maybe. Yeah, let's kind of move on. Enough talk about Trey Lance. I mean, quite frankly, I'm done with all the hype. Thank God we don't really have to talk about him being overhyped now. Expected contenders who kind of started 0-1. We're going to talk about those teams. They had different results on Sunday, right? But all 4 of these teams were disappointing in their own way. So I'll let you take 2 of them, Shriek, and then I'll do the other 2.
Okay, I'll handle the Rams and the Broncos. And I'll keep it short. We want to get through this, but the Rams early on looked really good. I mean, that looked like the Rams that we know and love. And then they almost fell apart, and ultimately it was against the Falcons. You barely hold on to a win. Jalen Ramsey pick kind of seals it. It's a win, but I think I wanted a more complete performance, just a better performance in general. And the same can be said for the Broncos too. Another awful performance from Nathaniel Hackett. I mean, I said this last week. I've seen enough. I don't think he's going to be good. And it's just 3 blown second half timeouts for starters. But they did rally to a win over the Texans. Another thing was those 2 delay of game penalties. And after that, the fans in Mile High started to count down the play clock for the Broncos. You know how bad you got to be as a head coach for that to happen? Like that's insane to me. Every single fan in that stadium against Houston. Like, that's ridiculous to me. And now you get the Niners something's got to give. Okay, something's got to give. It's a win, but you got to be much better, especially against San Francisco. We'll see what they can do on Sunday Night Football. But the Rams and the Broncos, very, very mixed. And the Rams look good a little bit, and the Broncos just look awful.
You know what this told me? I'm so glad about this. Like, there's just so much parity in the NFL now. Like, I mean, the bad teams aren't really bad. I've always said that. I think Arthur Smith is is being overhated by so many standards. I mean, 7-2 in one possession games as a rookie head coach is really good. And you just saw what they did. I mean, like, they were real close. It was one bad throw away from really winning that game, right? So, Falcons, kudos to you. I think this is a team that's also, not as bad as people think. Same thing with Houston. I mean, Houston looked really good. Mile High, Davis Mills playing in that altitude had a decent game, honestly. And I think he was going to convert that fourth down if he just got a little bit more zip on that ball. So, I mean, that's kind of my take on it. I mean, like, really, the worst team in the NFL that has looked, right, like, based on game tape, has been Indy, right? Like, I think it's been Indy. So, yeah. I mean, and that's a team we expected to win division with ease. So really, the bad teams haven't really looked like the bad teams. And then I'll take the Raiders and the Bengals here. The Raiders, I mean, defensively just collapsed. I mean, and everyone's going to talk about like the Kyler 2-point conversion where he ran for like 20 seconds. I mean, Kyler is so amazing. He is like, I know this is supposed to be about the Raiders, but just a quick thing. Like, he is so different from how other quarterbacks operate. I mean, he's not 5'10", he's like 5'9". But the way he runs the way he can accelerate is just second to none. So kudos to the Cardinals on the comeback. And I think the Raiders, look, Devontae Adams couldn't separate on Byron Murphy on the outside. Like, that's a little bit concerning to me. You get 12 yards on...
That's good for Byron Murphy's stock, though.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. But, like, this is a guy who's supposedly, everyone's been telling me Kupp is, no way you can make an argument that Kupp's better than Devontae. But, nay, I mean, like... But, I mean, look, I think the Raiders will be fine. This is or fine in the sense that, look, I'm a little bit scared. Actually, okay, let me rephrase that. I think they'll win they will win a bunch of games. My problem is now, right? We've got two teams in the AFC West that we thought were definitely going to compete for a playoff spot. I don't know. Like, these two could be in the 10s in terms of seeding. Like, we could see them being like a 10 or 11 seed, both Denver and LV, because these two've got a brutal schedule towards, like, Denver's got an easy schedule to kind of start off, but then towards the end of the season, it's going to be rocky as hell. And also, again, Russell Wilson, why don't you take some charge, man? Like, this got to be your offense. Stop waiting for the play call to develop. Stop taking it down to the final second. Fix it. And then for Cincinnati, I mean,
yeah,
who would have thought? Who would have thought that a Super Bowl hangover would have happened? And I wait, look, I didn't have the balls to pick the Cowboys, but I did think it was going to be a closer game than a lot of people thought. And Cincinnati, I mean, like, everyone's blaming Zach Taylor. I frankly don't think that. Joe Burrow, can you hit your second and third reads? Like, let's stop. The offenses are now not supposed to be simple for you. You are a third-year quarterback. Let's progress through your reads and make the right play. Obviously, yes, the O-line won't let him make those type of progressions for so long, but... yeah, I mean, Cincinnati, I think they've got to hold up because the defense hasn't really looked that bad. I mean, like, Logan Wilson's been playing like an absolute stud, building off of last year. It's just a lot of weird kind of questions with this team that, quite frankly, I mean, 2 losses to 3 points. So, what can you do? But if they don't win against New York, now it's time to hit the panic button, I think.
Yeah, no, if they lose to the Jets, they're done. Joe Burrow, taking a lot of sacks. A lot of people want to blame just the O-line. I'd put it on Burrow too. I think at this point, like, the pocket presence just doesn't look nearly the same. Like,
they missed the playoffs. I can't wait to stitch my video that I did in May that I got so much backlash for, where they said the Bengals would miss. I can't wait because I had Fins over them, and I can't wait. Please continue to be right. Like, I mean, but yeah, I mean, this is really scary. I think, like, to go to, because here's the problem. You can lose only by 3 points, but a loss is a loss, right? At the end of the day, it's what your record is. It's what those 17 games equate to. So a little bit concerning from these 4. I'll finish it off with this. What team are you least concerned about out of these 4, and which ones are you most? Just give me a one word.
Okay. Least concerned, I'd say the Rams.
Okay.
Least concerned, I'd say the Rams. Most concerned, It's between the two AFC West teams, and I'm gonna say the Raiders. Because if they can't beat the Titans, they're done. They're done. You're not rebounding from 0-3 in the AFC West. Like, I could hear Bengals too, but I'm gonna say Raiders.
Least LA, best coach in the league. Not concerned at all. They will be right. And most concerned, I am going to go with LV as well. I think Cincinnati still has time just because, again, if the Browns had won, like if they was 3-0 and 0-3, then it would have been hard to usurp all three teams. But I think now it's like you've got your chance. So, I mean, no team is undefeated in the AFC North. They've got their time. So, yeah, you're right. 0-3 in the AFC West. I don't think you're beaten. I think you're already
done. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but hey, remember, no team in this 14-team format has made the playoffs after starting 0-2.
Yeah, it's an important thing to keep in mind.
Yep. All right, let's move on to our weekly fantasy segment like we give it to you always. Just going to throw out some stars. Going to throw out some sits. Srikar, who is your start of the week?
I'd start David Montgomery. He had a nice game against the Packers after that clunker against the Niners. We saw Justin Fields only throw 11 times in that game, even when they were losing. So Luke Getsy is really intent on running the football. And the Texans, I think they have the worst run defense in football currently. So I think starting David is a good move this week.
I mean, yeah, he had an 80-yard touchdown last time they played. My start, not really of the week. Like, I think Patriots receivers, start them. If you have Aguilar, if you have Jacoby Myers, start them against Baltimore. I don't know what it is with the secondary, but they've been struggling. So I think you probably want to start those guys. Obviously, they're no Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle, but I think you should start those guys. How about that dude Amon-Ra St. Brown, huh? I think he's a wide receiver one going forward. But yeah, start the Patriots receivers in my opinion. That's what I would do.
All right. Do you want to give your sit first or?
Sure, I'll throw it out. My sit of the week is going to be Rashad Penny, which is ironic because I said he was my start of the week in week one, or one of them. Atlanta, surprisingly, has not allowed a 50-yard rusher in 2 weeks, and they've been pretty good against the run. I think this game is going to be really competitive, so let's not start Rashad Penny.
I could not come up with a good sit. I'm going to say Alberto. I could not come up with anything better. Like, and you know what's crazy? Every time I can't think of something, I go straight to the tight ends.
Bro,
you just go.
You could just say like Kittle off an injury or something. Bro came up with the most irrelevant player.
He had a pretty good week one, and he didn't score a single point last week. I don't like the matchup going against Fred Warner. He's already seeing less targets. Doesn't have a role in this offense. Sit Alberto, get rid of Alberto, do whatever you need to do. Just get rid of Alberto.
Bro, if you're starting Alberto, you already have a problem there, bro.
Yeah. No, because even Kittle coming off the injury, I think Kittle's going to be good with Jimmy.
Bro, I'm going to die if he has a touchdown. Like, that'll be so funny. If Alberto
that would be pretty funny.
That'll be so funny. But yeah, I guess, hey, Srikar's not aboard the Alberto train.
No one is. Well, who is aboard the Alberto train aside from Broncos fans?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, no one really is. All right, well. Let's get into it. It's our favorite segment of the week. Week 3 picks. I can't believe we're already into week 3, but hey, these things fly by, but it's our favorite time. Shriek, you want to get us started or maybe give us a little intro on what's the standings at?
All right. So the standings right now, well, at least going into week 3, Jack and Fans are both tied at 21 and 10.
Okay.
Anish, you are at 16 and 15, so you're dead last, and I'm at 19 and 12, so I'm third.
Wait, no. You didn't update the Pittsburgh game.
That's what I was about to get to, because Fans just took an L with Pittsburgh, so now Jack is in
Fans.
first.
Love when you guys go against my Browns. I love it. They always do. So
now Jack's in first, Fans in second, I'm third, Goop, you're fourth.
All right.
Still anyone's game. Let's start off with the Bears and the Texans, two teams that are practically on the same level. I'll go ahead and start with this one. Chicago's at home. A better defense. They got reason to believe they can get to 2-1. So I'm going to take the Bears here.
I am too. I think, they were really impressive last time they played. I know it was like, in the 2020 season, but look, things kind of translate over. I think, the Bears will win these type of games, where it comes down to the run. I think David Montgomery, they're going to lean heavily on, as you mentioned, 11 passes thrown. I think this is a win for the Bears.
Pretty big matchup here. The Raiders and the Titans. I'm sorry, I gotta put you through this, but do you think whoever loses is done? I mean, like, who's your pick?
Yes. I think if Tennessee goes 0-3, not necessarily, but obviously
Yeah.
with the Raiders, yes, I will give you that. I mean, the Titans, obviously, terrible loss to the Bills. And everyone's going to overhate and overreact and blame Tannehill for all that, even though Derrick Henry had only 25 rushing yards.
Oh,
But,
man.
I mean, it's okay. Everyone loves to not blame the
Willis is
quarterback
just
who had
waiting there.
absolutely no protection and lost 2 starting O-linemen during the game. But, hey, it's fine. It's fine. I'll continue to defend him. Is this at Tennessee or at LV?
This is in Tennessee.
Oh, man, way to make it tougher. I'm depending on Christian Fulton, I'm probably gonna go with the Raiders. I just think that they're less injured, so I'm gonna take LV here.
So yeah, I agree. Titans necessarily wouldn't be done if they lose. Playing a horrid division, they'd have hope. Raiders would be toast. I mean, they would be done. They aren't rebounding from 0-3, as I said before. So off that desperation, I'm gonna go with the Raiders. It's a little tough because both are desperate, but I think the Raiders are gonna want it a little more knowing their circumstances. So I'm gonna go with Vegas. Moving on here. Let's see. Let's do Chiefs Colts.
All right.
So you would expect, the Colts.
All right, no, you start. Yeah, you start on this one.
I'm starting on this one because I'm confident. It's the Colts home opener. So, you'd think they're going to give it everything they got, right? The problem is Gus Bradley, former Raiders DC, last year with Las Vegas, that defense got killed by Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. I'm going to go with Kansas City here. I think Mahomes is going to shred this defense. So I'm pretty confident in this. So I'm not going to say it's lock of the week or anything, but I do like Kansas City in the spot here, even with the Colts coming home for the first time.
Yeah, people tend to forget that the Colts lost their defensive coordinator to Chicago.
Yep.
And Chicago's defense has looked way better, and the Colts defense has not, right? Frank Reich is an offensive guy. So I'm with you. I'm very confident the Chiefs win this game. I mean, I've seen a lot of these, little TikTok kids pick the Colts to win.
No.
Yeah, no. I'm going with Kansas City here. They've had 10 days of rest too. People seem to forget that, but hey, it's okay. It's cool with me. I'm taking the Chiefs.
All right. Bills Dolphins. You got to start here.
All right. Where's it at again?
In Miami. Or actually, yeah, it's in Miami.
Okay. So, let's talk. Let me try and break this down really quick. First of all, the Bills will be without Micah Hyde, who I think is one of the best safeties in football. Jordan Phillips won't be there as well, who contributes to the 5 guys that are just so good on that rush. Bills look tremendous. Dolphins also looked tremendous, right?
For one quarter, yeah.
I think it's gonna come down to, and hey, Shriek said it too. I mean, give him hats off to him. I mean, even though he didn't believe in Tua, he was like, I think Tua's gonna have a good game, and hey,
yeah,
kudos to this guy right here. What matters is if you should start believing him when he gets drafted, like this guy over here. But no, I'm kidding. Great game from Tua. I think as I kind of broke it down, right, how the Dolphins offense is gonna work. I mean, this is what they do. That being said, I'm torn. I think the Bills still win this game. Like it's hard for me because like X was getting cooked all game with Rashad Bateman, and I think Stephon Diggs is just too good, and I think they get Gabe Davis back. This is just a game I think the Bills will win.
Okay, I think this is the best game of the week. 2 undefeated teams going at it for the AFC East lead. Obviously, a lot of implications. I'll say this, for Miami to win, it's got to be quick hitters all the way, because the way Buffalo has been running their defense so far, they don't blitz. They just go with their front 4 and they still get pressure. So this is the best front that Tua is going to be facing so far. I mean, the Ravens and Patriots, they got some good fronts, but I don't think either of them, stack up with what Buffalo's got right now. So quick hitters, see if you can beat me. I think the playmakers will do their thing. Can you block? The O-line was definitely a problem. Can you block? And can you get a stop too? Because that defense was pretty bad. They're 31st in pressure rate. Only have 2 sacks right now. They gave up, I think, 473 yards last week. I mean, this is not the best defense right now. So can you get a stop and can you block? If you can do both, I mean, you're gonna be golden, because Hill and Waddle will do their thing. So even with no Micah, I'm going to take the Bills. Man, I could really see a situation where Miami wins this game, obviously, but I can't bet against the Bills right now. I can't do it. I can't.
Yeah, Josh hasn't lost a two in his career. Also, with the Bills and the Dolphins. Look, again, I just want to talk about how right I was about the Dolphins scheme. Like, it's literally predicated on throwing quick and letting the playmakers work on the outside. Like, I love Mike McDaniel's scheme so much. Like, I think I was, instead of focusing on just O'Connell and Nick Sirianni, I should have been talking about McDaniel for coach of the year. I mean, I don't even know why I didn't think of that, but yeah, no, definitely, can be coach of the year candidate by the end of the year. I'm in love with this offense. This offense is so damn amazing. Also, Raheem Mostert had a kind of a quiet, good game too. So maybe look out for one, because I guess it's unclear who's the really good back in this offense.
Yeah,
I thought it was Chase Edmonds, but I mean, Raheem's kind of, being the better
That's
one.
something that McDaniel picked up from Kyle. But I think what scares me is Miami has played one really good quarter offensively. One really good one. 7 of 8 quarters. Okay, look at the Patriots game. 13 points on offense, okay? Against the Pats defense. The Ravens, for the first 3 quarters, looking like the exact same. And then they went off in the fourth quarter. So what's the real offense that you're going to get in this game, right?
Fair. I would also say that Bill Belichick knows how to coach up a defense. But, I mean,
yeah, but the talent level is not that good either. So it's like,
so this is what you're gonna get with the offense, right? Like it plays like that you saw with how they scored 28 points in a quarter, right? Like or actually more than that. I think they scored 42 minus 14, 28.
It was 28.
So, yeah. Okay, no, I got it right. Then okay, look, you're gonna have those plays where they just bust, right? And then you're gonna have plays where they pop off, right? Like that's just it's kind of this wish-washy thing because you're relying so much on playmakers making plays in open space, and that's why it's a boom or bust offense. So let's see, right? Like I love it so much because obviously the booms when they work are so damn effective, right? And when they bust, it's obviously a little bit shaky, and you're gonna need your defense to step up. So I'll give you that, but that's why I think the Bills just play better on both sides of the ball, and you're right, less streaky. So I think that's a good point.
Yeah, and this is one of the smartest defenses in football with Buffalo. So McDermott and Fraser are definitely going to come up with a good game plan for this game. It's going to be a good match. But moving on here, the Lions and the Vikings. Honestly, I think this one could go either way. If the Lions can create just a few turnovers, I mean, they have a real shot. But here's my problem. This game isn't in prime time, which means Kirk Cousins is about to look like the second coming of Joe Montana. So I'm going to take Minnesota.
I hate this. I mean, what's so crazy? It's like I'm such an analytical and schematic dude, but it's so funny because the NFL is it's magical in the way that streaks just continue to happen. Like narratives and like things, it just works. Like the Jags somehow always beat the Colts in Jacksonville. Like it's unexplainable. The Pats can't win in Miami. The Kirk Cousins always, bleeps the bed in primetime. Like, I don't know what it is, but it just happens. So, look, I mean, I don't know, man. The NFL is so inexplainable that way, which is why I love it so much. So unpredictable. Thanks for picking the Vikes streak and helping me inch closer on a, terrible start to picks. But it's, I believe it's at Minneapolis too, so I'm gonna go with the Vikings at home. I think this is a good game to bounce back. Lions had a really good win, I think, but a lot of it was just big plays, and they almost kind of let up a Washington comeback. So let's go with Washington.
And Anish does say that I let him inch back into it with the Vikings pick, but also look at your Detroit pick.
Yeah, Detroit.
Lone Wolf, baby, the Lone Wolf resides here.
Well, we're 2-1 on. I'm 2-1 on Detroit picks because I got. Oh wait, no, I think we're staying on 1-1 because I had Eagles and then you had Commanders.
Yeah, I'm 1-1 as well. Yeah. But I mean,
speaking
divisional matchup, I mean, anything can happen here. The next game we got is the Ravens and the Patriots. Okay. I will let you start on this one. I mean, Ravens got a rebound, right?
Yeah, I think, okay, which loss did you think was worse? I mean, I'm gonna argue that I think the Browns one was just because it was in less than 2 minutes, but I mean, for the Ravens, I mean, how do you I mean, this was just I mean, I thought the game was pretty much wrapped. I picked Baltimore too. Remember, at 9:50.
I'll say this. I'll say this just because I can't think of anything worse. I think this is the worst loss in the John Harbaugh era.
Yeah, probably. I
I think
can't
it's the
really think
worst
of
loss in
anything
genre
either.
right
You're right. Yeah. I mean, it's at New England. What are the Pats 1-1? You got to bounce back here, man. I think I'm taking Lamar here. No way you lose again.
Yeah, you got to rebound, right? And they should, because they're more talented than New England in all three phases. So I'm also going to take the Ravens here.
I mean, you
And let's
dropped
get
440 yards of offense, right? Like, I mean,
yeah.
I
And
think that
Lamar, for what it's worth, Lamar looked really good like the first three quarters, and then obviously before everything went downhill. But moving on here, the Bengals and the Jets. We talked about this 2 segments ago. If the Bengals lose to the Jets, I mean, it's over. They're done. Joe Burrow's been sacked 13 times in 2 games. Can New York get enough pressure to turn the tide in
I
this one?
don't know, man.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to take the Bengals. I'm going to play a little safe, but even with taking the Bengals, it's not safe. It's not safe at all. But
Isn't
I'll
it
go with
at New York too? I
it's at
keep
New York.
asking where it is because I don't have it pulled up. But
It's at
is
New
it?
York, and we remember last year's result when
Oh, dude, I don't know, man. Look,
hey, for
okay,
what I'll just say, Jack took the Bengals. If that
you're
helps you at
coming
all.
off, you're coming off such an electric win, right? And for Cincy, you're playing with such desperation. I don't. I mean, I think the Jets roll with Flacco here, right? They're gonna,
Yep.
even though Wilson's practicing.
Mhm.
Flacco's given the Bengals some trouble throughout his career, obviously as a Raven. Man, uh, you know what? I'm hoping. I'm really hoping the Jets win, but I just can't. I mean, you get like how do you
Goop takes the Jets.
how do you
Wow.
how do you pick no how do you pick this team, bro? How?
Because
I'm not
they're more
taking.
talented.
How do you pick the
It's simple
Jets?
as that.
How do you pick the Jets corners to match up against this trio? I can't do
Oh,
it.
you mean that way?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
going.
tough.
I'm going
That
with
is the
Cincy.
first game we have differed on thus far.
You're taking the Jets?
No, I'm taking the Bengals.
Oh, I'm taking Cincy too.
Oh, okay. I thought you were taking the
Yeah.
Jets for a second.
I can't. I can't. I just can't. I want to, but I can't. I can't.
All
Man.
right, we'll go to
Screw the Jets,
next.
though. Really, I mean, I hate this team. Like, I really hate this team.
We'll get to a matchup to that you love specifically. Eagles Commanders. Philadelphia has a chance to run their record to 3-0, and then they face Carson Wentz in the process. So, Goop, who are you taking?
Oh man. All right. Well, since you guys know the Browns have already played, I am going to be tuning into this game 1000%. Listen, you guys know how much I love the Eagles. I am a Nick Sirianni fanatic, and it's a Carson Wentz revenge game. Give me the Washington Commanders to win at home. Give me Carson Wentz to beat his former team. Look, I wish we were doing spread because 100% I'm taking Commanders plus 6.5. Give me the Commanders in an upset. Give me the Washington Commanders in an upset over the Philadelphia Eagles. And man, I want this so bad. I want this so bad. I want if any game the Commanders were to win, I want this one and the one against SF on Christmas Eve, which Srikar and I will probably go to. But
Yeah.
give me this one. Give me this one.
I will say this game will not be easy for Philly. I'll just say that first and foremost. But the Eagles are the better team with a much better defense. I mean, the Commanders' defenses look awful thus far. I'm taking Philly. That is the first game that we have differed on to this point.
You knew
Jack,
I was gonna do it, man. You knew.
I had a
can't. I'm
feeling.
sorry,
I had a
man.
feeling.
I can't.
I
Man.
mean, this is something you've been talking about since the actual Carson Wentz trade in the offseason, just seeing Philly again.
Man,
So
can't believe we're already here, man. I mean,
Yep.
I remember Wentz got traded March 11th. We're
Yeah.
in September 23rd. Over 6.5 months later, man.
And
Awesome. I can't wait.
Jack is taking Philly, so there's a good chance you're a lone wolf here.
Absolutely.
I think the fans are going to
Come on,
side with
man.
Philly. So.
Jack's the biggest Carson Wentz hater on the planet. I'm going with Wentz here. Let's
All
do
right,
it.
final game of the morning slate. It is the Saints in Carolina, a divisional game. After watching Jameis Winston throw 3 interceptions and the Saints as a team total 5 turnovers, I mean, Saints fans, you got to be hoping for a bounce back here. And they should get one against Baker Mayfield and the Panthers. They haven't shown much early on to really knock off my socks or anything. So I'm going to take New Orleans. Yeah, so a pretty easy pick for me here.
Hmm.
Please take Carolina. I hope you do. I
Oh,
took the
okay.
Giants last week, and I had people say, "Oh, Carolina's more talented. They're gonna." Nope, the Giants just got the better
Okay.
defense.
I know this game's in Carolina.
Yeah,
Um, I'm torn. Look, okay. Jameis looked bad.
very bad.
And if okay, Cesar Ruiz had a hell of a game. Like, and it wasn't even the O line's fault. So if Carolina can get some pressure, I think this is really a team that can win this game. And you know what? I'm gonna roll with it. The Saints have not really looked good. They were down 26-10 against Atlanta heading into the fourth quarter, right? Like it took like a miraculous catch from Jarvis Landry to get him in field goal range. It's gonna be Baker versus Juice, man. A battle of two of my favorite players to ever down a Browns uniform, but I'm going with Carolina here. I think yeah. See, I hate these type of games where they're just so wish washy, but I think Carolina at home. I'm gonna pick them.
All right, so all eyes will be on Saints, Panthers, and Eagles, Commanders in terms of picks. We move on.
You know who I support. Man, this is gonna sound so biased, but I really think like the Panthers have a good chance here. I mean, if they
Hey,
start off
thank you for taking Carolina last week. By the way, that definitely helped me.
rough,
But we'll move on.
Always with
We'll
these
move on to the afternoon slate here. Let's start it off with a tough one. The Jaguars and the Chargers. The line shifted from Chargers -7 abruptly this afternoon to Chargers -3 or Chargers -3.5, depending on the book. I am really, really tempted to pick Jacksonville because this is the classic Chargers game where they lose and absolutely nobody can explain why. It feels like one of those games, but it kind of depends on Justin Herbert for me. Obviously, if Chase Daniels starting, then I'd take Jacksonville. But Herbert's ribs are a major concern. If he plays, I'm gonna take the Chargers. I mean, they're home, just way too talented. But the way that line shifted, it really makes me think that Herbert's done. So, or not done, I should say, out. But I'm gonna stick with the Chargers for now, but let's have a little contingency on this game.
So, how did Jacksonville look last week? I may be last in picks, but all of Goop's agendas have been looking pretty solid so far. And Trevor Lawrence has looked amazing. I mean, 25 out of 30. Whew, man, him and Dougie P with that RPO scheme. Give me the Jags if Justin Herbert doesn't play. And yeah, I think I'm gonna stay with you here, contingent, because I think Herbert does make that difference up.
Yeah.
Even if he goes, I want to see how Friday's practice. I'm gonna, keep updates with it and see also maybe his pregame how he looks. But yeah, give me the Jags if Herbert's out, and then I think I'll take Chargers at home if he plays. But for now, I think so.
All right, moving on. Let's go with where do we go?
Rams.
Let's go Rams Cardinals. Yeah, I think we're gonna see a lot of points in this game. I'll let you go first here because I think I went first last time. Yeah, I did. So
yeah, Cards are coming off an amazing emotional high, right? Winning a thriller against LV. And look, I mean, you could argue, right? The Rams have been pretty disappointing for Super Bowl champion standards. I'm torn on this one just because I mean, the magic of Kyler. It's like, it's almost unstoppable. Give me the Rams, though. I think they kind of shut him down here. Even though it's at Arizona, I think the Rams kind of know what Kyler's about. They've really beaten up on him in the last 2 weeks last two times they played. Was in Arizona in that Monday night game. I think you remember it was in December of last year, and then playoffs, obviously. Give me the Rams.
Cardinals might have saved their season in Vegas, while the Rams, this is a good matchup for them because I don't think the Cardinals, have a very good pass rush. So it's good news for Matthew Stafford. I'm also going to go with Los Angeles here. But I do think this is going to be a very, very high scoring game. I think both teams go over 30 plus. But yeah, I think this is going to be a great game in the afternoon slate. Let's move on here. Let's do Falcons Seahawks. I mean, why would the NFL do this to us? Like, I won't do that this week. Geno Smith and Marcus Mariota are actually, outperforming my expectations so far. So
Man, they were outperforming Trey Lance too. So let's not let's not make fun of those quarterbacks.
let's not talk about Trey Lance. Yeah,
Okay.
but good for those two, right? The Falcons look downright awful defensively, and the Seahawks, they're limited, but I think they have the weapons to create a few big plays. So I'm gonna roll with Seattle at home, in a game that, frankly, I don't know how many people are gonna be tuned into outside the regions. So
Give me the Falcons in an upset.
Okay.
I'm going with Atlanta. I think you're not giving them enough credit. To hang up 25 points on the Rams, hang up 26 points in 3 quarters against the Saints, the offense hasn't looked bad. And obviously, again, casuals are like, where's Pitts? Where's this? Where's that? Look, first of all, I'm going to trust NFL scouts way more than them. And second, Pitts, like Arthur Smith's scheme doesn't use tight ends. Like it's a lot of outside receiver work where they run these deep crossers. And that's why Drake London is thriving. He's playing the same role A.J. Brown was. He's literally the same build. Obviously, yeah. I mean, one thing you could do is move Pitts more to the outside, but I mean, Drake London just is a better receiver. So also Pitts is not as good of a blocker. And you know what?
Well, that sucks because didn't Arthur Smith draft Pitts?
Yeah, which is why I thought that's why I thought it was a weird pick anyway, like Pitts at 4. Remember, I thought you should go Justin Fields at 4 based on when the board was available. Like I thought Fields was the pick there, but yeah, I was confused. But again, like now that you got Drake London, you're basically putting the same dude. Like that's why Pitts, when Arthur drafted Pitts, he used him on the outside. Remember the game against like Miami and the Jets? Mm-hmm. Like he was used on the outside. Now you're using Drake on the outside, and it's a little bit harder to kind of incorporate him. So. But yeah, give me the Falcons in an upset, and I think this defense will hold. Seattle looked pretty disappointing against SF.
All right, Packers Bucks. Let's do it. This is a fascinating game. No, you're starting on this one.
Yeah, let's do it. So Green Bay obviously do what they do. They beat the NFC North teams in prime time, and then the Bucks do what they do. Won a slugfest against New Orleans. Give me the Bucks at home. I think this is Tom Brady's 2-0 against Rodgers since he's joined the NFC. This is a team that matches up really well as well. Jamel Dean's playing a hell of a game against the Saints, and he's playing just unbelievable football. So give me the Bucks here. Packers I don't think receivers are going to get separation, and it's one of those games where it's just going to frustrate Rodgers. So give me the Packers. Oh, sorry, Bucks.
Okay. The Bucks are missing half their offense. The Packers are still trying to get their offensive line completely healthy. I mean, this comes down to which pass rush wins out.
Yeah.
I'm going to trust the defense that's given up a combined 13 points in the past 2 games. Even though Green Bay does have the more complete front, I think Tampa's got the best pass defense in the NFL right now. So I'm going to take Tampa Bay, even with all the injuries they have. I mean, both teams are actually going through a lot of injury troubles right now, but I'm going to trust Tom Brady, and I'm going to back the Bucks in this game. And moving on to Sunday Night Football here. Niners Broncos. I'll start. I cannot in any world right now pick Nathaniel Hackett to outcoach Kyle Shanahan. And also with Jimmy Garappolo, Niners know what they're getting, right? So it's impossible to ride with Russell Wilson at the moment. I'm going to take San Francisco.
Leave in the comments how long it takes before Srikar picks against the Niners. I'm gonna go with the Niners as well. I think I'm not
gonna take the Broncos.
No way. No, like it's not even about the Broncos being bad. It's like Jimmy G. I think gives this team a lot better chance to win. Kittle comes back. I think this is just a more complete team going into Denver. Give me SF here.
All right, Monday Night Football, a good divisional matchup here. Giants and the Cowboys. The Giants can get to 3-0, maybe 4-0, because they got an easy matchup next week too. But will they be able to block Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence? It's a big question. If they can, they win. I'll just say that. But Andrew Thomas is awesome, by the way. He was a solid pick by Dave Gettleman. But the rest of that O-line group is pretty sus. So I'm gonna go with Dallas. It just comes down to if they can block. It's just all it is. And I don't think they will.
Yeah, I'm going with Dallas too. I mean, I've been saying Cooper Rush is not bad. Like, he looked he looked pretty good. He had some really nice throws. Hey, all I'm saying is with Srikar's guy Dak, CeeDee Lamb 2 of 11 targets, and then with Cooper Rush 7 of 11 targets. So I don't know. Cooper Rush has thrown better over the middle than Dak. And even Jerry Jones said there may be a QB controversy. I'm not even kidding. He said this.
That Jerry
Cooper
Jones
Rush
is old, okay? Jerry
Cooper
Jones
Rush
says
is
stuff.
not that bad. In two starts, he is 2-0, and he's averaged 300 yards a game. I am not that I'm picking Cooper Rush here. I think Cooper Rush, and I love Daniel Jones, but I mean Cooper Rush, low key, man. Yeah, give me the Cowboys here. I think this is a team that can definitely win this game.
Well, that caps picks, and we differed on a total of 3 games. Falcons, Seahawks,
and the
Eagles,
Baker
Commanders, and then Saints, Panthers.
crap.
Me and Jack are in lockstep the whole week. It's just you that's been differing.
Really?
We're still yet to get a pick for Falcons, Hawks from him, but we'll see where he goes with that.
Alrighty. Well, hey, I mean, yeah, if Herbert plays, maybe I might still take Jacksonville. We'll see.
I'd switch to Jacksonville if Herbert's not playing too. So
yeah. So I guess we're. I'm gonna think about those Baker and Wentz games, but
you gotta catch up, man.
I'm good on the Falcons one. But the other two, I'll think about. But
okay.
Yeah. Well, that recaps week 3 previews and week 2 recaps. I can't believe we're already into this, but again, leave your thoughts in the comments below. We love every comment, and thank you guys so much for watching. This has been the Cold Hard Truth NFL podcast. We will see you guys next time.